The state school board running out of time to make a decision. Will the current superintendent receive a new contract? Right now, State Superintendent Mohammed Choudhury earns more than $300,000 a year to oversee the operation of Maryland public schools, which involves billions of tax dollars. And as Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, his future as superintendent is in doubt.
200 West Baltimore Street, the Nancy S. Grasmick State Education Building. Once a month, the Maryland State Board of Education meets in this building to make important decisions about the future of public education in our state. This week, the board is set to discuss who will lead the Maryland State Department of Education for the next 4 years. Mohammed Choudhury has been the state superintendent since 2021. But over the last few months, a series of Project Baltimore investigations have raised serious concerns about his leadership. And as the board prepares to decide his fate, there are still many questions that remain unanswered. Unanswered question 1. Is the superintendent's state-issued cell phone still set to auto-delete text messages after 30 days? On April 10th, Project Baltimore filed a public records request for emails and text messages sent and received by the superintendent from January to March of this year. This was the time period when the state, without alerting the public, changed how it reports test scores at low-performing schools, which made far less information about those schools available to taxpayers and parents. When we filed that public records request, we learned 98 text messages from the time we requested were deleted off Superintendent Choudhury's state-issued cell phone.
If someone willfully deletes a public record, it's a crime, and they can go to jail for up to 3 years. So it's a very serious violation of the law here in Maryland if that was done.
In a statement, the school board explained that the superintendent's phone was set to automatically delete text messages after just 30 days. But 12 of those text messages were not yet 30 days old when Project Baltimore requested to see them, which leads to unanswered question 2. Why were 12 text messages deleted after our public records request was filed on April 10th?
This needs to be investigated immediately as record concealment or destruction of the public record. So those records belong to the people.
According to state law, when a public records request is filed, the documents requested should be preserved. In this case, they were not.
The superintendent should consider resigning his position.
Choudhury's contract expires in June of next year. If the school board offers him a new contract, it must be finalized by the end of September. But some have expressed concerns, including Governor Wes Moore, who appointed 5 of the 14 current board members. Project Baltimore sent an email to Governor Moore's office asking if he supports renewing Choudhury's contract, given the most recent controversies. His office told us they are aware of Fox 45's reporting and are monitoring the situation.
I do not believe that this is the person that should be leading our state into the future.
Meanwhile, former employees are coming forward with their own concerns, including this whistleblower, who asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation. As an MSDE employee, were you made aware that the superintendent had this second email?
No.
When Fox 45 filed our initial public records request, we learned the superintendent was using a secondary email account to conduct state business. At first, the email was redacted, but when Fox 45 challenged the legality of that redaction, MSDE removed the black, and we saw the superintendent was using a hidden email, Mohammed.Choudhury725 at maryland.gov. Unanswered question 3. Is the state superintendent still using his secondary email account to conduct state business? In a statement, MSDE said Choudhury used this email as a means of organization because his primary email address receives a myriad of messages from stakeholders every day.
It doesn't make sense. It seems like you're hiding something.
When the board discusses Choudhury's contract, those discussions will likely take place in closed session, which are not open to the public. But by the end of the board meeting, we should have some idea as to what the board decided. We will keep you updated as we work to get answers. I'm Chris Pabst. Thanks for watching. Here's another story to watch. Also, if you have a story idea, please send us a message.